I am from RevTrip.com and the founder of Live Light Academy on livelight.ca, and I'm here with another Live Light reflection for the negativity fast that we're going through during Lent in 2004. So yeah, it's early morning. I'm actually going to be sharing a message today at my church, and so I thought I should get this done. Oh yeah, and there's a potluck. So yeah, we're cooking some things, and oh yeah, I gotta go through my morning routine. And now my restream is telling me that LinkedIn doesn't support streaming at 35 FPS, and it should do for 30. And I'm sure I checked that, but I have no frames per second. That's what I know it is. I have no idea how it changed from that. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't change those things. It means nothing to me. Anyway, I'll check that later. And if we're not on, it looks like we're still streaming there. Let me just see. It does look like we are streaming. So I don't know what. I will figure. I won't figure it. If it. These things happen during a negativity fast. When we are trying to keep God's thoughts. When we're trying to do what is right. We always do that, don't we? But frustrations will come. We gotta get rid of the rubble. We gotta learn to laugh at things. We gotta learn to take ourselves not so seriously. I haven't even got to the title here yet. Yeah, the title today is "My Hope is Real." So let's get to that, and I won't be able to figure the rest of that out. But anyway, I will be back out. We are on day 12, and today's reflection is "My hope is real." My hope is real. It does not disappoint. My hope is not in potential or circumstances. It's in the person of my risen Lord. Because he lives, the best is yet to come. Because he goes before me and behind me and within me, my hope is real. The question we can ask ourselves is, have disappointments hardened my heart to hope? It's kind of in line of what I was saying, right? Like, we have to. One of the books I wrote, and I'm gonna turn into a course here at some point. The course title, I will call it, is "Live Light with Hope," and really, what that course or what that book does, the book title is "Hope in Transition." It's right there. Anyway, but. I'm going to take the content of that book and break it down into a course. Like, that content really was, that particular book I wrote when I was processing everything I went through with my dad's death. How on earth, in case you don't know the story, we were at a church that I loved. It was my first church. I love the people. I love what God was doing. It was just, we were seeing people baptized. We had more butts in the seats than we knew what to do with. We had more money in the bank account, and it scared us. And I felt God say, lay it all down. Lay your future, your finances, your friends, your family, and do something that doesn't make any sense. And that thing that didn't make any sense was to moved to New Zealand without any call on God. Like 2 years before, we were offered a church in New Zealand, and everything would have ticked the boxes, and it would have made a whole lot of sense. And we just I didn't feel it was the time yet, but 2 years later, I felt it was time. And then we made an announcement, so we gave them a lot of time, so 6 months to find somebody. And I just said that we'll be here till the end of the year. And within that time, my dad was diagnosed with bulbar ALS and given about 18 months to live. And if you don't know what bulbar ALS is it attacks the bulbar part of the brain, and it basically it takes away your ability to swallow and your ability to speak. How did that breathe? Oh yeah, and then breathe. Okay, so yeah, first of all, my dad couldn't swallow, so he needed a feeding tube, and that feeding tube, he could still live because he had a feeding tube, and then he lost his voice. Was that first? Maybe his voice was lost first. So he couldn't preach. He was a preacher, and he couldn't do that. He was a teacher. He couldn't teach. And then he couldn't fellowship. He couldn't, well, he'd be there pouring Ensure down his tube when we ate, but it wasn't quite the same. And for him. And then moves down and takes away your ability to breathe. It's an ugly, terrible, brutal disease. And basically, I didn't go to New Zealand with the right attitude. I told God, if I gave up all of this, I wanted heavens to open. And I don't know what you imagine heaven's opening would look like, but we arrived 6 a.m. January 1st, 2005 in the city of Auckland. At the time, it had 1 million people in it, and every single one of them was at the beach. So we arrive, and a friend come from the beach to meet us at the airport at 6 a.m. Greek guy drives us to his house, down these completely deserted highways, freeways, like 3-lane freeways crossing the bay. We were the only 2 cars. We were just following him. That was it. You'd expect to see a tumbleweed. It was anything but open heaven in my view. And so, I wasn't there with the right attitude. And we decided we were going to live there. We were going to be raising our family there. That was what we were going to do. But after consulting a bunch of people I trust and expecting most of them, great people of faith, I expected most of them to say, no, just stick it out. This is part of the process. Just go. And then they all confirmed we should go home and be with the family. So we came home and helped my dad finish his book and get it published before he died. And then my book out of that was hope, because I had to learn how to hope again. And I was studying the story of David and his men in Ziklag, and coming out of that, there are some really good principles for us to follow. What do you do? What do you do when the people around you are talking about stoning you? What do you do when some can't just go on? It's just too much for them. What do you do? And it's a beautiful, beautiful story. What am I going to say? Oh, yeah. So it's going to become a whole course, and we will be doing that. Speaking of courses, we are on the Negativity Fast, and we do have a course for the Negativity Fast. What it is that the 47 days of devotional, the 47 days of reflections are dripped out every day as soon as you sign up at refdrip.link/fast, and you get the material. Now, you get this material for life. After you go through it, it'll always be available to you. And you can go through a Negativity Fast using that material anytime you want to. Now, the book actually will go through... My alarm is just ringing. I need to go check my food that's cooking upstairs. Maybe I should text my wife. She's awake. So the book will outlive me, and you get all the reflections and the devotionals in the book. So reftrip.link/books, and that's available there. If you want tips to fast from negativity, these are completely free. You don't have to use any of my material. Go to tips and tools from at reftrip.link/tips. And then, of course, I have a course, and this course helps you to live light above the negativity with your whole heart. reftrip.link/bless. And I am live casting whenever I can, like this time in the morning. And so it's random. But if you want to keep up to that, you go to YouTube, like and set notifications on YouTube, reftrip.com/TV. Or if you're on Facebook, like and set notifications on Facebook, reftrip.com/FB. Or if you listen to podcasts and that's the way you want to consume your information, catch up on podcasts and subscribe where you listen at reftrip.com/radio. I really need to go check my pierogies baking in the oven. Anyway, take care. God bless. And I will be back tomorrow. I'm preaching at 10 o'clock my time, not 10 o'clock. I don't know what time. The service starts at 10 o'clock, whenever, and we're doing a baptism service. So there's baptisms taking place during the song service, and it's going to be cool and fun, and you can join us online. What's the easiest way? kway.live gets the live stream that we send to our webpage. But anyway, we will take care. God bless.